Hello and welcome to the World Reflexology Foundation. We are a group of reflexologists who have a passion for helping people have better health. And in fact, we have a belief that if people around the world had reflexology to use on themselves, that the world could be a healthier place. Our mission is to improve health worldwide through self-help reflexology. What's reflexology? Reflexology is a way of helping ourselves to stay in good health. It's called prevention. And if we do have aches and pains and different discomforts, then it's a way of sometimes helping us feel better. How is it done? Well, reflexology is done by using our touch in nurturing ways on maps of the body that are believed to exist on the feet, on the hands, and on the outer ears. And let's take a look at some charts that'll show you what reflexology is visually. So now let's take a look at the World Reflexology Foundation color coordinated chart. If you notice on the left, there's the human body, the lady, but it would be the same for the man. And the colors from the top to the bottom, from the top of her head to her feet. Well, we're going to take a look at those in a minute, but notice on the feet and hands, that they're also the same colors, going from the top down to the heel of the feet and the wrist of the hands. So let's take a look. Notice the purple color of her head and neck. But that color is color coded. If you go to the toes, you notice it's the same purple color as it is in the fingers. That's indicating if you have problems, stress in your head and neck, that you would go to the fingers and toes to help get relief. If you come to the body again and notice the blue, that's for the chest area. And that means chest in front, heart and lungs inside, everything inside the chest, and then the shoulders and back, because when the shoulders are actually the top and back of the chest. And we go to the same color, the blue, on the feet and on the hands. And now if we go back to the human body, we look at the yellow and the orange. The yellow is upper abdomen, the orange is lower abdomen. And that's where you'd work on the feet, the yellow for upper abdomen, and the heels for lower abdominal pelvic area. And on the hands, similarly, the yellow for upper abdomen, the heel of the hands, the orange for lower abdominal pelvic area issues. So that's for the feet, hands, and ears as far as from the top down. Now let's take a look at the legs. Notice they're red, and you go to the small red spots on the feet and on the hands. Notice the cursor that's showing you. And then go to the arms. Notice the green representing the arms. And notice the cursor is going to show us on the outer edge of the feet, below the small toe to the heel, and also the outer edge of the hands from the small finger down to the wrist. And then down the middle of the human body, notice that there's something that looks like a ladder. And that's representing the spinal reflex area from the neck all the way down to the lower pelvis area. And if we go to the feet, notice where the feet come together below the big toe down to the heel. That's for the spinal reflexes on the feet. And on the hands, similarly, we're below the thumb down towards the wrist for spinal issues. Then let's go to the ears and think when we were children, we used to try to do headstands on the ears, headstands. And notice the purple is on the bottom instead of the top. That's because the image of the human body and the outer ear is upside down. So for head and neck issues, the purple, we'd work with the earlobe area. The blue is for the chest reflex area. The yellow and orange are for the upper and lower abdominal areas. The red is for the legs, leg reflexes. The green for arm reflexes, shoulder all the way up to the finger top where the cursor is now. That would be for the fingertips. And then notice the spinal reflexes, that curved area. So these are the maps that we use for the feet, hands, and outer ears, showing you what the concept of reflexology and the reflexology pressure maps.
So I would start with my left foot. You always try to do both feet, but I would start with my left. And I would put my right leg on the floor and then cross my left leg over so you can have your knee there. And I'm not going to be able to work my foot like that. So I'm going to use my plastic foot. And here's my plastic foot. And of course, thumb rolling is going to be a little awkward like this. So my finger's going to do most of the work because my thumb can't work that awkwardly. So I'm going to start right below my big toe and I'm going to work that knuckle area. So pretend this is my thumb. I'm going to go over. So you start from like your first digit there, that bone, and go all the way across because we're going to work the arch of our foot from the top to bottom. But then we're also going to go a little bit here. But then when we get down further past our knuckle, we're going to go into the inside of our foot to the soft part. But we're going to try to do all this area. So cover around that bony part because we want to get the esophagus reflux. Because, oh, so many people might have acid reflux, gastritis. So hopefully we can help them help themselves to make their gut feel better. Walk slow with that thumb roll or finger roll. You're going to go up, go across. You feel a little something, you can stop. You can hold it. You can swirl it around a little bit, whatever you feel works, what feels good. And you're going to go back over that spot you just worked that was tender possibly or didn't feel right. But you're going to keep working all the way down. And when you get past the knuckle, then you're going to start going inside to the soft part of your foot. So again, you're going to go from the arch around the foot, and you're going to get the solar plexus again in there. You're going to get the upper part of the abdomen reflexes. So you can go across. So you're going to get a little bit of the pancreas in here. You're going to get the stomach for sure. That's why I started with the left reflex, the stomach reflux. So you're going to go from there to the arch, over, pancreas reflux, get the stomach reflux. But you can go diagonal, go up. Of course, this is my thumb, but it's not my thumb. Finger roll up, feel something, you can stop, you can push. Go up, you go across, come back to the arch. Keep just going down your foot. Feels so nice. Get to the lower abdominal reflexes, which we have the colon, we have the colon reflux, the large intestine reflux. All those good things that help us with our digestive tract. Going over that arch. And you're going to get to the small intestine reflux. Keep going down. Of course, I probably missed some spots because of my plastic foot. Get to the pelvis, down here to the pelvis area. Colon reflux. That might help if anyone has diverticulitis. Go over that again. Then go back down and get done. Then you can be nice. You can do a little nice, but then you're going to go to your right foot because on your right foot, you're going to get your gallbladder reflex and your liver reflex, which help in digestion, and a little bit more of the stomach reflex. So thank you. Thanks, Kath.
Oh, that was great, Jan. I worked along with you and it felt great. Okay, Mita. Mita's going to lead us through a series of hand reflexology techniques for optimizing digestive health.
Hi,
Mita.
everybody. Nice to have you on today. Now, I don't need a plastic hand because I have my hand. So I'm going to be doing something very similar to what Jan did because the feet and the hand reflex points are very similar. So I'm going to start again around the knuckle of the thumb. And I'm going to this is again the esophagus reflex point. And I'm going to be going around there. Now we're going a little bit faster today because we're demonstrating, but when you're at home, you really want to do this slowly and get that relaxation as well and just really sort of get in there and feel it, okay? So you're going around that knuckle. And of course you can go different ways. You can go upwards if you want, and you can come in with the finger here. And then just like Jan did, you're going to start now, you've got all the digestive, the upper abdomen here and the lower abdomen here. And so you're going to come in with, you can do a little roll like this with your thumb, a caterpillar, just like Jan did. In the soft part of the palm. You're going to go across, and remember at home, you're going to do it just a little bit slower than this. You're really going to feel it. And you can go upwards just like Jan did. And then sometimes, especially if you're feeling like a tender spot, you might want to concentrate on that spot. So let's say this spot here is tender. You want to just hold it. You can just hold it. You can do this reflexology anywhere from, like 3 to 15 minutes. And then you can also do little circles if you find a little tender spot, because you want to sort of work those spots out, right? And so again, like Jan said, you have a lot of the stomach, spleen, etc. on the left here. You've got, particularly in the upper abdomen and the lower abdomen, you've got your small and large intestines and things like that. Okay. And then on the right hand, you can do the same similar thing. You're going to go across. Don't need to do it on this one because you've seen how to do it. Again, you can do the thumb roll, you can go upwards, you can do it with your finger if you want, you can hold, you can do little circles. And on the right hand, like Jan said, you have a little bit more, you have more liver, gallbladder. You also have the ileocecal valve, which is over here. And that's the valve that goes from the small intestine to the large intestine. So sometimes that's helpful just to hold or to do little circles. Or to go up, we work the broad area. So don't worry about getting the exact spot. You just want to work the broad area right around here on the right side. Okay. So I think that pretty much covers everything. You've also got the esophagus reflex point around the thumb again. The liver points on the right, the gallbladder reflex points, the intestine reflex points, and again, a little bit of the stomach reflex point as well. Okay, that's it for the hand.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mita. That was great. All right. Sarah's going to come back and demonstrate a few powerful ear reflexology techniques for encouraging healthy digestion. Sarah.
Hi again, everybody. I just wanted to explain, I just noticed, it just came to me. I've been doing reflexology for many, many years, but the ear is different from the hands and the feet, that you actually, other than when we worked that area for the spinal cord reflex, other than working that, most of the time it's a hold. So if it's not a hold, it's a very, very, very slow movement. So the ears do differ slightly than the feet and the hands, where you are kind of doing a little bit more of a movement motion. So if you ever get instructed on the ears to hold, it's very, very common because there's a lot of very important points, and that's how the ears really work. So I wanted to point that little fact out, how it differs from the feet and the hands. Okay, so we already did that beautiful relaxation technique for the spinal cord reflex. And we pointed out how fantastic 0 point was. I want everybody to go back to that 0 point, which is again from that tragus face flap into the ear of between. And when you're on that wonderful spot, which is just fantastic, I want you just to go down into the lower valley, just ever so slightly, where you feel the dip from that cartilage into that lower valley. So right in that first area, right below where your fingertip touches, that is going to be your esophagus reflex point. Again, digestion starts in the esophagus. And as your finger, because it's a little bit bigger than that area, you're going to also be touching right onto the stomach reflex. Well, we're going to have the esophagus, which goes right into the stomach reflex point. So we're just going to kind of hold right under the ridge where we had the 0 point, and we're going to get that wonderful area of the esophagus and then into the stomach reflex. Then we take our fingers and we glide them just ever so gently to the back area of that cartilage ridge. We can hold there as well. We'll be hitting into the liver. Both ears work unilaterally, so both ears can be worked, not necessarily just the right. And then we'll come up and glide over into the small and then the large intestines. And it literally is as simple as that. So I'm going to review that one more time, and we're going to do it together. So we're going to start just lower than that 0 point. We're going to just hold that with our fingertips, take nice deep breaths, and we're going to just gently glide our fingers back and up over that little ridge to our upper valley. Our fingers will go on top of that ridge and go right onto the smaller and large intestine reflex points. It's kind of a strange sensation if you're not used to working your ears, but it's actually quite a relaxing one. And because our fingertips can be quite large for such a small area, they fortunately hit a lot of different wonderful reflex points along the way. So the specifics of, am I getting the small or am I getting the large? You know what? You're probably getting both of them, along with your gallbladder, pancreas, and wonderful other areas for digestion. So that is the ears for the digestional points. A lot of magic in those ears. Thank you so much. One more thing, so sorry. You can hold these points, you can touch on them, and that's going to activate them, but you can hold them for up to 1 minute to 2 minutes to 3 minutes, or however long you feel comfortable doing so. It doesn't have to be a rushed procedure.
It's good to see a lot of you working on yourself, following along, not only watching, but also working on yourself. That's the idea. And by the way, in this video, we had to go very quickly to cover a lot of information. What we encourage you to do is to, like I'm going to do with my voice now, is slow down. Spend a lot of time working on those reflexes as frequently as you reasonably can as well. Now, after you do reflexology, it's often suggested to drink extra fluids to help keep yourself hydrated. And coming back to the reflexes for a moment, remember the top priority is the one that you want to work on most. If you don't have time to do all three, be sure to do the first one if you can physically. We'd love for you to share this information, help us spread the information around. We are a 501c3 nonprofit and also non-vocational. So it's self-help work that we teach here. And one of the things that we could ask your help for, we already mentioned one, which is to share this with friends and neighbors, family members. But also, if we would appreciate your donations. Why? Because although we all at the World Reflexology Foundation, we're all volunteers, it costs us money to get some of the projects done that we're working on. For example, we're translating a lot of the articles that are on the website. If you go to the website, worldreflexologyfoundation.org, you notice that there are a lot of articles there, And also they're being translated into other languages from around the world, a long-term project. And also the videos. And eventually we'll get to having all the videos with voiceovers from around the world as well. So all of these projects are ambitious. They do take quite a bit of money. So if you have the situation where you could donate, we would appreciate your helping us, but just be as generous as you can. But most importantly, it's not to help us with the projects as much as to help us get the projects out to the world, to help the world be, as we said at the beginning, to help the world be a healthier place through self-help reflexology. So bless you. Thank you so very much for being with us. And until the next time, we wish you very vibrant, good health.